Before we get into today's video, I do want to let you guys know that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys have got to relax, spend time with family, not pay attention to the aftermath of the trial, which I know some of y'all have been all up in it because you've been emailing me, DMing me, and tagging me in these interviews that Elaine did on Good Morning America. I mean, every time I open up my phone, it's like, Christina, you got to talk about this. Christina, you got to talk about this. So for those of y'all that do not know, Amber Heard's attorney, Elaine, has gone on this, like, I would call it like a press run, or where she's going and doing these interviews. She's been on the Today Show. She's been on Good Morning America. She's been on a couple other shows, I believe. I know one more for sure. I may have seen her on two more. To talk about how basically, in my opinion, how her client, Amber, was done so wrong. Now, she blames everything and everybody, honey. She blames the jury. She's going to blame the media. She's going to blame Johnny Depp fans. She blames Johnny Depp. She brings in the UK trial. She does it all. So I'm going to react to it right now with you guys, because when I first saw this interview, I was like, this cannot be serious. I was so disappointed in Elaine, okay? Even though, you know, maybe she wasn't my favorite as an attorney watching her defend Amber Heard, I still realized that that was her client and she had a job to do. And no matter how I feel about a person that's being defended or whatever, everybody deserves a fair trial. And I believe Amber got one. So we're going to react to this real quick here. Before we do, I want to let you guys know that on Friday, I'm planning on doing a true crime video. So if you guys want me to do something else or react to something else, you guys need to let me know down below. Otherwise, I have a true crime video for you guys. I know some of y'all have been asking. And for everybody that's been asking for a true crime video, you guys got to realize there's like 1,000 more people asking me to react to something to do with the trial. So if you guys let me know down below, I can see what the majority wants. Everything that I'm going to say is filtered through my own very, very unprofessional opinion. Please never take my advice or my opinions as any kind of legal advice or professional advice or anything. Go and watch everything for yourself, form your own opinion, but just don't show hate to anybody. All right, let's get into this, y'all.
Yeah, a major setback for women, for women inside the courtroom and outside the courtroom.
Because?
Because basically what this said, you know, Amber had an enormous amount of evidence, although a lot of it was suppressed in this case as opposed to the UK. But look at all the women who have no evidence. All these women who suffer from domestic abuse, they don't have evidence. And basically what this jury said is, unless you pull out your cell phone and you tape record your spouse beating you, you're out of luck.
That is so messed up. How can she say that about the jury, that that's what the jury said? No, ma'am, that's not at all what the jury said. As somebody that has been in situations myself, this is not a setback for women. If anything, this is us as women, since we got to talk about it that way, men versus women or whatever. This is us as women coming together and saying, we are going to support true victims. That's it. Johnny Depp was victimized. Again, for the millionth time, I don't think he was all innocent. I don't think he was lovey-dovey all the time or whatever. I think he had major issues, and I think that he made a lot of bad decisions and a lot of mistakes, and I think he has paid heavily for them. He had everything to lose. She had nothing to lose when she got with Johnny Depp. She was doing Zombieland role. Nobody knew who she was. He has lost, just like he said, nothing short of everything. He was victimized by her. Do I think that he never reacted in ways that he probably shouldn't have? Absolutely not. But we as women, that's what we're saying with this. We are going to support victims to the fullest. But just because you're a woman doesn't mean you're being honest. And she's wrong for that, in my opinion.
Why do you think they did not believe her?
I think that a lot of that was that it was Johnny Depp. I think the celebrity status.
But she's a celebrity too.
And it's not only not believing her.
Yeah, but she's a celebrity too.
Right.
Did you see her face? She did not even know how to react to that. She's like, okay, what am I supposed to say next? Trying to remember my lines. People are not supporting Johnny Depp because he is Johnny Depp. That is such a cop-out from them, and it's super frustrating. They did that the whole entire trial, too, if you guys don't remember. Everybody that was testifying was either wanting their 5 minutes of fame. They belittled everybody's truth and attributed it to Johnny Depp being a good movie actor. Like, that is so wild to me. Everybody that testified for him was because it was Johnny Depp. Everybody that, they wanted their 15 minutes of fame. Everybody wants to be on this. And then now it's the jury and now it's the public. It's so crazy to me. It can't be because your client lied. She got caught in many lies. Ugh.
It's a tale of two trials. All the evidence came in the UK. Mr. Depp brought that one. The burden of proof was on the son in the UK because they had called him a wife and talked about the domestic violence. He had his opportunity to tell the truth then.
Now, this is why I no longer feel sorry for Elaine. This is so bad, you guys. She literally got the nerve to get up here and say he had his chance to tell his truth then in the UK trial. The UK trial was not Johnny Depp against Amber Heard. The UK trial was Johnny Depp against The Sun, which is a media outlet, okay? And that happened years ago, first of all. And of course, in my opinion, the judge, and you guys, if you didn't know, the verdict wasn't given by a jury, by multiple people. It was given by one man, the judge. And in my opinion, the judge played it safe. Nothing against him, not saying what he did was right or wrong, but I put myself in the judge's shoes. I say, okay, I've got this extremely rich superstar right here, Johnny Depp, and I have The Sun, a media outlet. And then I have this woman here in the middle that's saying, yes, judge, he did do all these things to me. Of course he ruled in that favor because it was just a man suing a media outlet. Two rich people suing, one suing the other. And they have to prove malice, I think, over there in the UK. I'm not sure, but let's just say it is. Then The Sun was only reporting on what Amber said. So technically, they didn't really do anything wrong. That's the first thing. The second thing is he didn't get a chance to tell his story. And yes, they let Amber bring in whatever fluky wooky, whatever evidence that she wanted to over there that was not allowed over here. Like this picture right here of her lip bleeding that came out of nowhere. But we all know she's a chronic lip picker. This lip could have been bleeding from anything. And that's terrifying to know that there are certain people out there that will take pictures of stuff and accuse somebody else because they have something to gain. She wasn't out in her free time, allegedly, unless she was, and we don't know it, doing stuff for victims. She used this story to help herself. It was never about anybody else. It was always about Amber. He had to sue her over here. This is so gross of Elaine, in my opinion.
But, in this case, the jury not only didn't believe Amber Heard, but in ruling that she acted with actual malice, that means she had the intent to cause harm, right? That's a pretty high standard to have proven.
And it's pretty amazing since the op-ed never even mentioned Mr. Depp. You have to remember that. What they learned from the UK case is to demonize Amber, which is what they did, and to try to suppress as much of the evidence that came in the UK and did not come in the United States. But the other problem is we had cameras in the courtroom.
This is so good. She's talking so fast. This is a script, allegedly, in my opinion. She is talking so fast to just get this stuff out that she is supposed to say, and it is incredibly gross to me. She is making it seem like on there, and the only person I think she could be talking to is the people that do not look at social media, like maybe the older generation. I know some of y'all are part of the older generation, but we're talking about the older generation that don't get on YouTube or, Twitter or all that stuff. They literally sit in their houses and they watch Good Morning America or CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or whatever, and they look for news reportings. She's speaking to those people because we all know that this is some BS. And then to make it sound like the UK trial had a bunch of stuff that the US wouldn't allow in. Two totally different trials, two totally different things. And Johnny Depp had a lot of stuff he couldn't bring in too. We all know. We heard tons of recordings. If you guys haven't heard them, go back through my Johnny Depp playlist that were not allowed in court. It's so gross, guys.
A group of Depp fans that were there every day, 100 were allowed in. They lined up at 1 o'clock in the morning for their wristbands to be in that courtroom. But we had everything on camera, and we had tremendous social media that was very, very, very much against Amber.
It was pointed out that that was the first time that a victim of had to testify on live television.
And I fought hard and lost that battle.
I don't know if a lot of people believe that she is a victim of that. Okay, we all know that's a story that came out way later. Maybe I am partial at this point. I wasn't in the beginning. If you guys watch my old videos, I was not. I got to this place in this opinion from seeing the evidence. I was not all team Johnny, by no means. Every time you turn around, it was something new happened. It was something bigger. It was something. Even if you listen to the testimony of Amber in the UK about what happened with the staircase incident with her sister, and then you listen to her sister and her testimony in the US, there's more added to it. More stuff happened.
So I am a former NFL player. And after a hard loss, it's easy to wake up and point to the other side. Oftentimes, I realized the better thing to do was to look in the mirror. What mistakes did I make as a player? What mistakes did our coaching staff make? And then how can we improve from there? Do you feel like you guys made any mistakes along the way? Do you feel like Amber made a mistake while she was on the stand? Because you're saying it's the celebrity, it's Johnny, it's the people who support him. But what about you and your team?
Well, and that's an excellent question. And to say, and you know, Amber even said on the stand, I am not perfect. I am a human being. These people were giving her death threats. They threatened to microwave her baby.
So he asks her what she could have done better instead of blaming everybody else. And her response is that Amber is not perfect. She was getting death threats and people were telling her they wanted to microwave her. She didn't even answer the question. I'm not perfect. I can't deal with this, you guys. It's so ridiculous.
But I think that there were a lot of influences here that were beyond our control. And I have to believe that the jury, even though they're told not to go and look at anything, they have weekends, they have families, they have social media.
They were not sequestered. They were not sequestered.
And the 10-day period we had, how could they not have been influenced?
These people were away from their family members every day and their jobs. They got paid allegedly $30 a day to go and sit in a courtroom somewhere. So they all lost money unless none of them had jobs, which I doubt it. You know what I mean? So if they were away from their job, they got paid $30 a day, and this was super high pressure. And I tend to think that they did not look at social media, because if they would have been looking at social media, they would have came to a verdict on Friday, honey. The day that the trial was over, they would have went right to the back and been like, yep, Johnny Depp wins $50 million. Had they seen all the stuff that we seen? But they took time and they discussed it, and it's just so disrespectful. This is why Elaine has, I no longer feel sorry for her, because she is sitting up here saying all this stuff. She goes on to talk about, I'm not going to play no more of the interview, you guys, but she goes on to talk about that Amber is going to go for an appeal. Good for her. Happy for her. However, I don't think that she's going to win her case. I don't know what they're trying to do here. I don't know what is up their sleeve here, but for them to say that Johnny Depp's team played dirty, Amber's team played dirty. They were the ones doing things that wasn't allowed. I mean, even in the closing arguments, if you guys go back and watch Amber's team's closing arguments, they said stuff that was like, how are they allowed to talk about this? Amber brought up the UK trial herself while she was testifying. Like, that type of stuff should not have been allowed, because the UK trial had nothing to do with what happened here in America. The UK trial was not Amber against Johnny. It was Johnny against a news media outlet. It is just so disturbing to me and so wrong. There's no integrity here at all. And I don't know what. I don't know if they lost money, if maybe they were going to get more money if she would have won, or if, because Amber said she spent $6 million on lawyers' fees. Maybe that was a lie too. I don't know. And the other thing that kind of aggravated me was at the end here, Elaine said that Johnny Depp's team ignored the cycle of abuse. What I think happened is, I think Amber studied these things, okay? I think she studied these cycles and all of this stuff, and they are so upset that the jury did not buy her act, because she tried to talk about the cycle, she tried to do all these things, and the jury did not buy it. If you listen to those recordings, it will make anybody doubt that Amber felt the way that she pretended that she did when she was up on that stand. And I just don't even know. I no longer feel bad for Elaine. This is ridiculous. And I'm glad that Johnny Depp's team denied to talk to them. He won. He wants to move on with his life now. Amber gonna be working, I don't know where she's gonna be working, honey, but But I did hear, I don't know if this is true, I heard she's got 2 movie roles lined up for her. It's gonna be interesting, all the documentaries that come out, because there's gonna be people offering to tell Amber's story. It's gonna be, I bet there's gonna be movies made on this. This is gonna be going down in history. This ain't over. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys all for being here. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week. My plan is to put a video out on Friday. I don't know, you guys. If I don't put a video out, I may be floating down the river in an inner tube, okay? If I do that, I'll post in the community tab and let y'all know. But other than that, I plan on putting out a true crime video. Unless there is something you guys seriously want me to talk about, let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys again for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Love you guys. Bye.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust.